Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any video from my channel.
Yo! On LCameraTV, make sure you like, subscribe, and share on things like Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and wherever else. And guys, a major trade just happened. Not with the Panthers, but it does affect the Panthers. A major trade just happened. The New England Patriots just traded Brandin Cooks to the Rams and got a first and a 6th rounder, and the Rams got like Brandin Cooks in a 4th rounder. And that sucks for us, and I'm going to tell you guys why, you know what I'm saying? So let's get started. So while the Patriots trading with the Rams and getting their 1st round pick, they got the number 23rd pick in the draft. And guess who's number 24th? The Panthers. So that sucks for us. And I'm going to tell you why, man. The reason why it sucks is because, you know, the Panthers were looking, you know, reports are coming out saying that the Panthers were really looking at a secondary player in the top of the draft, which makes sense. Obviously, our cornerbacks are what they are. Our secondary was like 18th in the league last year. It was getting torched like crazy. And obviously, we let go of Kirk Coleman. We let go of, you know, Darryl Worley. We let go of some cornerbacks, and our secondary wasn't good with them, really. You know, it was all right. It was middle of the pack, but it wasn't great, you know. So they was thinking about getting an impact player on the secondary, which is what was coming out a little bit, and getting an impact player on the secondary to better their secondary or whatever have you. Now, there's been some mock drafts and stuff like that, whatever they're saying we're either going to get, you know, Josh Jackson or Jerry Alexander. And these are 2 pretty good cornerbacks. And guess who just lost a cornerback? The New England Patriots. Let Malcolm Butler walk into free agency this year. And they might be in the market for a cornerback. So this directly affects us because obviously if they get Josh Jackson, then we have to get Jerry Alexander. If they get Jerry Alexander, then we have to get Josh Jackson. And obviously, you know, it just messed up our draft board completely because, you know, the Rams were solidified in the secondary position. They traded for Marcus Peters. They got Aqib Talib. They did all these, you know, moves to solidify their secondary, so we didn't have to worry about that aspect, you know. But now that the Patriots are there, they could be in the market to get a, you know, a baller cornerback that they can rely on for years to come. And, you know, that would suck for us. That really would suck for us. And, you know, it messes up our draft board. I know, you know, obviously we got to move some things around because now you got to change the way you look at things because you got to look at who the Patriots might draft instead of who the Rams might draft. And things might fall out differently, man. So that sucks for us. I mean, I think both Josh Jackson and Jerry Alexander are both good corners. If anything, you know, we can always go safety. If they go corner or if they go safety, we can go corner, whichever. But, you know, it definitely affects our draft board. It definitely changes a lot of things. And, you know, I know the Panthers weren't expecting it, but that's football, man. You got to adapt to your situation. And I think Ron Rivera and Marty Herney will adapt. I hope they're, you know, they're preparing right now because, I don't know, man. The Patriots are a wild card, man. Like, you know, they don't really pay players that much. You know, they homegrown players. So they might go after the tackle. I don't know. They're completely like crazy to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where they can go because the Patriot way is just very confusing and like, you know, I never try to make it seem like I'm as smart as Bill Belichick because I definitely don't think I am. But you know, as far as football is concerned, and I think Bill Belichick is, you know, a devious mastermind, and he's not gonna show his cards. You know, he's not the type of person to show what he's gonna do. So, to me, they're an anomaly, but hopefully they don't mess us up. You also could look at it another way, man. You know, obviously the Panthers need a receiver. So what if the Panthers are trying to go after a receiver, man? The Patriots now need a receiver because they just gave away Brandin Cooks. So they might be in the market and be like, hey, man, you know, if Calvin Ridley's on the board, let's go after Calvin Ridley. And that would suck for us because obviously, you know, Calvin Ridley's a very good player. Or if they say, hey, we like DJ Moore better, you know, that would suck for us because it'll always affect us. So, you know, they're, you know, obviously, you know, they're in the market for cornerback, which we need. They're in the market for receiver, which we need. So, in both scenarios, they can really mess us up and really mess up our draft board. I think the Panthers are kind of like different drafters too. They don't like draft the norm really. They kind of like do their own thing. So hopefully they're they're looking at a player that the Patriots don't even have nowhere near their board and is a very good player. But we'll see, man. Like I said, the Patriots are an anomaly. They can go in many different places, and it's going to directly affect the Panthers, man. I definitely think we're going to go, secondary. I mean, I wanted, obviously in my mock draft I did running back. I obviously said I wanted Calvin Ridley too, and obviously these are players that I want. But realistically, I think Ron Rivera and Marty Hurney are going to go defense because that's their MO. If you look over the last few drafts they've done, they're obviously Ron Rivera is a defensive head coach. They're probably going to go defense, man. They're probably going to go cornerback or safety. So, if we can get either a corner or safety, I would like, obviously a Justin Reed or Josh Jackson or Jerry Alexander. But we'll see what happens, man. Because this Patriots situation, they're, like I said, they're in the cornerback market. Their safeties are pretty good. Obviously they got Devin McCourty and Patrick Chung and stuff like that. So I think they're in a good situation there. So maybe safety would be the best bet for us. But we'll see. I think maybe the Panthers might lead towards safety. But we do need a shutdown corner, man. And you see what Marshawn Lattimore did for the Saints, and obviously you've seen what the Rams traded to get Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib and all that stuff. So cornerbacks really matter in this day and age, man. So that would suck if they take the cornerback that Ruben Iron and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens. And the worst thing about this is that they traded with the Rams, man. The Rams are in the NFC. The Rams been stacking up all off season. Obviously getting Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib. I thought they were gonna get OBJ. I was hoping against that because that would have been a problem. But now they got Brandin Cooks, which is still a problem for us, man. So they're already one of the top teams in the NFC last year. Panthers. I thought Panthers. If we paid them, we'll give them a run for their money. But now they're looking even better than they did last year, man. So that really affects us. But anything can happen in the regular season. Injuries can happen. Which I'm not wishing injury on them, but things happen. Injuries happen. Things don't plan out. Remember the Eagles who we're gonna be the greatest team ever. That didn't work out that year, but but it's just like, man, they had to trade Brandin Cooks to the we just dealt with him in the Saints. Now they gotta deal with him in the Rams. That's gonna suck. But I do understand trading out of your conference though. Obviously, if you do trade, always trade out of your conference, because you don't want to have to deal with the person you just traded away. So I do understand that, but man, it just makes things so much harder for the Panthers. We already got to deal with the Saints, the Falcons, and now we got to deal with the Vikings, obviously, and all these other good Eagles, all these good teams, the Cowboys, and now the Rams looking like a powerhouse in the NFC, and that doesn't bode well for the Panthers. So hopefully, we can still spice some things up. I think, I don't think we're done. Hopefully, we're not. The draft is coming soon, but I don't necessarily want to do a splash move because again, I don't think you have to do that. But I just hope we draft well. I hope Marty Hurney knows what he's doing. I hope he has a good scout helping him out or something because his MO has been drafting well in the first round, and the rest of the rounds has been trash. So. That's one thing I think Dave Gettleman was a little bit better at is definitely drafting. So hopefully Marty Hurney, learned something or took notes or something, whatever, when Dave Gettleman was the GM as far as drafting wise. But we'll see. I think Dave Gettleman's bad picks were obviously you could say James Bradbury wasn't that great. You could say Darryl Worley wasn't that great. You could say Kelvin Benjamin didn't really pan out. But Luke Kuechly, Cam Newton, Taylor Moton, Trey Turner, Andrew Norwell. There's a bunch of Andrew Norwell was undrafted, but there's a bunch of players that he did find and they did scout, and that turned out pretty well for us. So hopefully, Marty Hurney been taking notes. He cannot mess this up, man. Cannot mess this up. But we'll see what happens. Well, that's it for me, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the show. Cool things like Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and wherever else. And guys, get in the comment section, man. Let me know how you feel about the Patriots jumping in front of us. Who do you think they're going to draft and how is that going to affect us? I would really like you guys to put that in the comment section, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm leaning more towards cornerback because, like you said, Malcolm Button was a very big piece of their defense. And, obviously that whole Super Bowl thing happened. And, Bill Belichick's more of a defensive-minded coach. So I want to see how that works out. Definitely get in the comment section. Let me know who you think they're going to draft and how it's going to affect the Panthers. How do you feel about Brandin Cooks going to the Rams? How is that going to affect us? Because I think the Rams were a very good team already. They bolstered themselves, you know what I'm saying? I felt like the Marcus Peters and Keith Talib were already big trades, but now they got Brandin Cooks to get that vertical threat, and I think he's a better catcher of the football than Sammy Watkins was. And obviously Panthers fans, we're used to him because we dealt with him in the Saints. So how would that affect the Panthers? Get in the comment section, man. Let me know. And guys, share this with all the Panther fans and friends and family that you guys have. Share with all Panthers Nation, man. Let them know who I am, and stay safe, be good, and I will see you guys next time.